Hey guys, Doug here, how's it going? Today I have a review of the Department 56 Ghostly Carousel. Now this retired piece came out in 2002 and it was retired I believe in 2005. And as this review goes on here, you're going to see me compare and contrast it to the retired Lemax Spooky Scare-Ousel, which I just reviewed for my channel. The reason for that is both of these are rare carousels. They're both really cool pieces and they're pretty desired by collectors, so if you were thinking about going with one or the other, I figure my opinion, I might as well weigh it in which I kind of like better and which, what are the actual differences that I see. Alright, so getting into it. The Ghostly Carousel, you can see here the box, there's a description on it, and it says, "Skeletons and witches all enjoy scaring up a good time on this ghostly carousel. Add some fun to your Halloween by watching these frightening characters whirl around on the carousel while you listen to entertaining Halloween sounds." Alright, so first off, this piece is massive. It is huge. The box for this is huge. This has to be one of the bigger Department 56 Village pieces. I know it's probably the biggest that I've ever seen personally, and I have a decent collection of them. The detail, fit, and finish on this is Department 56 in their prime. The paint and everything on this, and even the material, it's amazing. I love the top of this carousel here. It lights up in red lights when you plug it in, and it's a spider web on top, and the actual spider is actually fuzzy. I love how Department 56 to do these textured pieces, whereas Lemax, pretty much everything is porcelain and or ceramic, plastic, whatever, and that's kind of it. Department 56 does use textured things. Like last year, I talked about the Pick Your Pumpkins. That piece, the vines in that pumpkin vines are actually like a vinyl to where they feel like vines, and sometimes there's like hay on pieces that feels like real hay. And so yeah, this piece here, the spider on top, is actually fuzzy. I love that. So yeah, as mentioned, amazing fit, finish, paint, and everything. This is a showpiece. When you pull it out of the box, it looks amazing. And again, that size contributes to it. This is just a mammoth piece. And as I talked about some of the different textures, you can see here on the actual carousel pieces, within here, that there are some textured pieces here where it feels like hair or, like a broomstick, and actually it feels wiry like that, or these little bitty chains. Just top notch. So getting into a comparison, with the Spooky Carousel by Lemax, both pieces do have a different theme, or at least a different vibe, I should say. The Lemax one is more of a traditional carnival-style carousel, and what I mean by that, it looks like it could be a real functioning carousel, right? It just looks, Halloween themed, like if you went to a Halloween theme park or something. The Department 56 one is different. It looks more like an actual, like a storybook, fantastical, ghostly, haunted carousel. The pieces, the actual carousel pieces inside that someone would ride on, they don't really look like, you could ride on it. And there's not, multiple rows like you do see on a real carousel, or most real carousels. And there's just not many pieces in general. They're bigger. It just looks scarier, right? It just looks like it came out of a storybook, like a spooky story. So getting into the animation on this, and of course at the end of this piece, it does have sound, and I'll show you the lights and sound at the end of this review like I always do. But there's something to note with that. So this piece has basically an animation on-off button that you use, and when you click it, the animation starts. It stays lit normally, right? Before you click the button, it just stays lit. But when you click the button, the animation starts and the sound. Now, it's very loud. There's also no volume control or anything like that. And then it runs for, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds, something like that. Sorry, I didn't count. And then it stops, and you have to hit the button again if you want it all to start. Now, most of these pieces, especially nowadays, they all have volume control, right, to where you can set the volume for something. You can't. So if you want to run this, you're always going to have the sound for it. And the other thing is there's no just general on switch where you can just let it go, right? You have to hit the button and it runs for a certain amount of time, then it turns off, you have to hit the button again. So if you're someone that just wants to let it run, that's not possible with this piece, at least not that I see. But again, the lights and everything do stay on when it's plugged in general. So yeah, and there's no on-off for the lights, by the way. If it's plugged in, the lights are on. Now you got to forgive it a little bit because again, this is an older piece. 2002, 2005, that's when it was retired. So this was, right when the Halloween Village thing was really getting going. So it's hard to knock that against that at the time, but it is something you need to be cognizant of, depending on what you want to do with your display. So which do I like better, between this and the Carousel? For me, I think it's pretty easy. I actually like the Lemax Carousel because I like the controls on it, the way that you can, you know, run it without sound and in the animation is actually pretty slow on it, so it's not all, you know, crazy. It doesn't feel like it would also wear out the mechanical parts as easy. Where this, you do have to turn it on and off, you know, so that's big for me. I actually do like the brighter lights of the Lemax piece. This one, really, it doesn't have that brighter lights, so that's another thing you want to be aware of. And another reason that I prefer the Lemax one over this one. Now again, this is still an awesome piece. I'm not meaning to undermine it like that. So for a final score on this, I would give it a 2 out of 3. If you love carnivals, especially Department 56 carnival pieces, if you're just into Department 56, you know, carnival, you probably have to have this in your collection. But any carnival collector would do well to have this in the collection. It would work great for it. And a really, really nice piece. So alright guys, thank you very much. And you're going to see a lot more Department 56 on this channel. I know I've been pretty Lemax heavy, but the Department 56 stuff is about to come in for this year, and I actually have scored a bunch of rare Department 56 buildings that came with the Ghostly Carousel here, as I got this from a collector recently who was selling out. So you're going to see more of a, you know, a mix here on the channel coming up as we head into the season. So again, thank you guys for the support. Here it is with the sound.